This week on SailAway, it's finally time for our massive solar upgrade. But doing this while at anchor requires some special techniques and planning.
If it breaks, then we know. Ooh.
How does that sound?
I don't know.
We pick a couple of nice light wind days to make the swap, but we still run into some rough weather. Solar panels in the rain! Dun, 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 dun.
Why you do these things? It's dedication to your job. That's what's coming. So you better get done fast.
So meet me on that island. Kiss me on that shore. Hey, promise me that we'll sail away, and I'll be yours forevermore. Round 2 of will budget actually be open? There's no good reason they wouldn't be open today.
That doesn't mean anything, though.
No, that in itself does not mean anything.
Should we take
All right.
the dog this first time?
Let's do it. We don't have room. Yeah, no room for the dogs. Probably not room for all 3 of us, but we're making Rivers go anyway. It's the 310 watts, 33 volts, $170. Pretty much impossible to beat anywhere down here, and actually not bad for a US price either. So we've gotten really good reports from a couple of friends that use them on their boats too, that they do every bit of 310 if not more. So decided to be daring. Well, that was easy enough. All right, there they all are. We unboxed all of them before we left the store, make sure they were not damaged or scratched or punctured in any way. They all look good. And tomorrow and Thursday, it's supposed to be super light wind. There's a low pressure system passing by just north of here. So yeah, we're looking at 7 to 12 knots of wind for the next couple days. So tomorrow I'm going to bust out some solar panels. I'm very excited. A little trepidation. Get the old ones off of there, get the new ones up, and it's going to take a little bit of maneuvering to do it the right way. So yeah, tomorrow, hopefully in the morning, it's a good start to take some panels off. I'm stoked.
If it breaks, then we know. Ooh.
How does that sound?
I don't know. I'm just gonna like double this one up.
I should send you out here.
Nope. Someone's gonna screw this up. It's gonna be you.
1.
Okay, now what?
No. 2.
Good job. High five.
Rain break. Gotta get my Union 15 anyway. So the reason we picked today There's a low pressure system coming across, and it's passing just to the north of St. Martin. Where are we? St. Martin. We're like right on the bottom edge of it. So today and tomorrow is variable light wind, but anytime you're on the edge of a front like that, there's stuff like this. So, it's just rain. It's better than being out in the sun. We found this 2-day period with super light wind. That seemed like a good bet for taking down and putting up solar panels on a boat at anchor. My whole plan here is to measure the front line holes as precisely as I can and go ahead and drill them in the panel frames as well, and then put them up a panel at a time and get the front edges locked down. Then we'll just kind of pull it into line along that back edge as we put those holes and screws in. These panels are definitely lighter than the old ones, which is cool because we're adding one, so we're not going to really be adding any weight. These 3 panels might weigh more than these 4. Yeah, not as much overall rigidity out of the whole thing for that reason, but they're still pretty damn stiff, so I guess we'll see how the whole thing behaves when we get it up. I don't think it'll be an issue, but I'm excited to get them up and see how much power they put out. That part, it's definitely going to be a big deal. Alright, let's measure some stuff, drill some holes, put up some power.
Are you getting it all lubricated with this rain?
Now it's going dry. Nobody wants to put a drill bit through the back of their nice new solar panel. Rain break number 2, maybe 3. Just keeps raining. So I got all my holes drilled across the front, no problem. Well, no, that is not true. It wasn't no problem. It's no problem now because they're all good, but I drilled those holes for the extensions with really no major issues. It's just aluminum. But those extrusions have so many layers as you're going through, especially if like you're not dead center, then you're catching like the edge of some of those internal layers. And I snapped a bit. And so it's stuck right in the hole in the exact spot where I need the hole to be, but I can't get the bit out. So I decided to drill next to it. I've got a pretty good lip on these solar panels, luckily. And I'm like, okay, well, I can afford a little space. Tried not to get too close to the hole where the bit was stuck in it, but I must have snapped another one almost before getting 2 or 3 full turns. It was just so fast. Snapped another one, but it was one of the old crappy ones that I knew wasn't very strong, even though I was being careful. Finally decided, okay, we'll stop being stupid and just start with small bits and work your way up. And I managed to get 2 of them out pretty easy. The third one took a lot of pounding and twisting and needle nose pliers because it's down inside that channel. Finally got all the little stupid bits out of there. Started with a very small bit, got through, moved up to the next size up, snapped that one. The moral of the story is if you're drilling all the way through this, whatever this product is or anything similar that's got all these different layers of extrusion because of the way it's shaped, you just got to be very, very, very slow and careful, because if you're even a tiny bit off center of that very narrow little track, then you're going to catch the edges of some of the other extrusions as you go through one layer and into the next and then come out the other side. That's the only thing I can say. If you're a drill bit, you don't want to be on this boat right now because your days are numbered. Alright, I'm going to eat a sandwich, and then I'm going to put up this panel, and then I'm going to drill the holes in the next panel, and then we'll put that panel up. Then we're going to drill the holes in the next panel, and we'll put that one up, and then we're going to drill the holes in the 4th panel, and then we're going to put that one up. Solar panels in the rain. Dun, 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 dun.
Why you do these things?
Solar in the rain. Dun, 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 dun. I was waiting for that.
That's why you told me to pick up the camera.
Yeah. Guilty as charged. Why don't you just film this one? I think I can get this from up here.
Okay.
Famous last words. Pretty good. Pretty solid. There we go.
One more. Above this side. You didn't put your thing in it.
I would have remembered, I'm sure I would have.
Thank goodness we found that random piece of board.
It's just been perfect for this kind of weird stuff. It's even got like a handle.
I know. That's dedication to your job.
Right.
Did you pull the plug at least so that the water's not like sitting in it? You know, putting even more. That's what's on the radar right now. They just sent this from the yacht club. That's what's coming. So you better get done fast.
Well, we may not get to test how much power they make, but we're getting the wind test right away, which is nice. Good to get that out of the way. Here it is. But yeah, they're good. Like I said, they're definitely a thinner build than the old ones, and I'm guessing pretty much all the newer ones are like that. I know the ones we put on Cecilia were nowhere near as thick as these ones we took off here. So yeah, putting them up was nice because they're definitely lighter. And now we're getting to feel about 25 knots of wind, I would say. You can see a little flex. Nothing major, nothing crazy at all. That's what you want. That's why people use aluminum for some things. It's good to have just a little bit of flexibility in situations like this. Well, I say that amount of work in the rain deserves a nice belly-warming shot of Fireball. One of the tour boats, big yellow thing, like they can pack like 100 people on. Has been doing laps out here. Yeah, the shit. Playing Don't Worry, Be Happy and Happy by Pharrell, and then they were playing the Fireball song, and so I'm pretty sure they're leaning pretty heavily on the Fireball to keep their clients happy today, because this is not really what you want for your vacation weather. But some good friends and a shot of Fireball makes everything better. It's come straight from the south. Alright, well, I'm going to put on some dry clothes and chill. And then tomorrow, hopefully, there's sun. We will hook these things up, see what happens. Peace. Well, this is a much nicer day than yesterday, but honestly, I think that worked out pretty darn good because I didn't have to roast my balls off trying to put these panels up in the sun. I'll take the rain for that job. And we weren't making energy anyway, so it didn't really bother me to have to turn off our other panels. So I think it was a pretty good deal. Got everything hooked up today. I couldn't stand it. We've got some cable coming for when I reroute these cables and put all new cable in, but it won't be here till next week. So I ran to Island Water World and bought 12 feet of cable just to make 2 extensions so I could set it up the way I want. And I've already got a huge bag of the PV connectors. My old toolkit from when I installed all of Cecilia's. I already had everything I needed to get these things put together, and I'd already purchased several of these Y connectors, 4 of them. So when we have both of the chargers and 2 separate strings going, I've got all the connections I need. So I went ahead and used all that, and I've got these set up now as 2 pairs in series. So a pair in a series, a pair in a series, and then paralleled both of them. You do risk a little bit of shading issues with series, although the panels are much better at fighting that nowadays. This way, we've got 2 panels in series on one side, 2 panels in series on the other side, so depending on how we're sitting, especially if we're at sail and the sails are up, and one side maybe has a little shading, we know the other side is completely unaffected because it's paralleled with the other pair. Yeah, we've been watching right now, even with this partial cloud cover directly overhead. It doesn't look like it if you look at me, but there's a thin cloud that's kind of covering all of everything right now. We're still seeing 900 watts and pumping in about 60 amps of charge right now. At one point when we had a clear glimpse of sky, I saw it get up to 1200 watts really quickly. So pretty excited to see this cloud pass so I can see the whole deal. So far so good. This is exciting for us because we really haven't gotten great cycling of our lithium batteries for a while, because that master volt charger that we had to put in, because we're not getting the right kind of power from our generator for our Xantrex to behave correctly for some reason. But that master volt's not really designed for lithium, and I don't feel like it's really given them their optimum charging. So I'm excited to see how these do during a typical day. We get all through the day with no need to charge, no need to do anything, as long as we got a little bit of sun. Those previous panels were just barely kind of keeping us even. But then by evening, we would need to run the generator and get the batteries charged back up before going to bed. So now what I'm hoping is that with this amount of charge coming in all day long on a typical day, that by evening, these things are topped off. And then we just use them, don't need to charge them in the evening, even if they're kind of getting low by the time we go to bed. No big deal. Go to bed, run them, and then in the morning when the sun comes out, start the whole cycle back over again. Thereby, hopefully, almost eliminating our need to use the generator to charge the batteries. And that'll be great because that'll save us a lot of money on diesel, a lot of wear and tear on the generator, although generators love to run. So we'll just be using it to power the water maker, most likely, and if we want to run the AC at night. So I don't want to get ahead of myself here. I want to see how these do over a couple days. But there's a very good chance that we might be able to make water in the middle of the day while we got full sun. But as much amperage as these things push out, we might be able to recover before the end of the day and never even have to run the generator. So that would be monstrously kick-ass. So I'm pretty excited about the whole thing, and I can't wait to test it and see if it meets up to these scenarios or not. We'll find out pretty soon. Alright, cheers. I'm gonna go stare at a charge controller.